Jimbo,
Steph,
want to have a little chat and go through the new Koch pads.
very, very good range of pads.
I've got to be perfectly honest, I wasn't massively a fan of the previous ones, although they did work. These are a lot better.
It's that rounded edge, a little bit thicker now.
Yeah, 17% better they reckon, the new red foam. We used that quite a lot last week on the Bentley.
Load of cut. It's,
Worked really, really well.
you get round edges, very versatile.
Yeah, obviously the different sizes that they do. They've got the small 45 mils, 76, 125
And the 150s.
and the 150s. So we've got the 125s here, the 126 as Koch like to call them. Also, talk about
Wall pads.
wall pad. New packaging.
Wall pad on a rotary, B9. That's as much cut you ever gonna get.
Well, that's what we've put a lot of the body shop customers on, because you've got an honest view.
It works.
Got the extra cut from the wall pad, which works really well.
Disperses heat brilliantly.
Yeah, but the B9, just that slightly bit more aggressive, less gloss than the H9.
Bit more cut.
Yeah. Onto H9.
H9's very versatile. You could still use a wall on a rotary,
Yeah.
but you can stick it on a DA with a foam. It will still love that.
Yeah.
You might lose a little bit of cut, but we're not talking masses.
No, but H9's quite a good one for lightly swirled vehicles, stuff like that.
Bringing up the gloss.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the scratches, as you say.
Then one of my personal favourites, F6.
Perfect. DA, rotary, however you fancy playing that game.
Yeah. If you ever need to do a one step on a car as well, I quite like that.
Or a tester. I'm not really sure what this paint's saying. Is it too hard? Is it soft? Let's try a panel with F6 and see where it goes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good judge, I think, of
A lot
do
of
I need to
time.
go harder or softer.
Yeah, a lot of time you just carry on with F6. It's just doing what you want.
Yeah. Now, it's a bit of a change
Clever change.
with the purples.
M3,
Yeah.
M2.
Yeah.
M3 with a hard pad, M2 with a softer pad. So this is your sticky paint where you struggle with a lacquer.
The one car I've always struggled with, or particular paint on a car, was Santorini Black on the JLRs.
Yeah.
I had a Range Rover once and it was a bloody nightmare for just
I think
balling
I
up
remember.
and flinging everywhere, and it was driving me nuts because it was just so soft. So now using M2 with the softer pad, that's where Koch have said that's where you need to be.
A little bit less cut from the compound, a little bit less cut from the pad. Keeps you nice and safe. And then if you do need a bit more cut, M3 with a harder pad, there's still some good cut in there to be had.
Yeah.
And the gloss is unreal.
Right, should we have a play with it?
Yeah, why not?